Judge Margaret Collins barely glanced at the man standing before her. "Next case," she said impatiently. The courtroom clerk looked confused. "Your Honor, the defendant hasn't spoken yet." Judge Collins sighed dramatically. "I've heard enough already." A few people in the gallery exchanged uneasy glances. Standing quietly at the defense table was Marcus Reed, a well-dressed black man in his early 40s. Unlike most defendants, he wasn't nervous. He wasn't angry either. He simply watched. That confidence irritated the judge. She looked directly at him. "Mr. Reed, do you intend to waste this court's time?" Marcus remained calm. "I was hoping the court would hear the facts." The judge laughed. "The facts?" Several people chuckled. Marcus folded his hands. "Yes, Your Honor." Judge Collins shook her head. "Every week people come in here claiming they've been treated unfairly." Marcus nodded politely. "And sometimes they're right." The courtroom suddenly became very quiet. The judge narrowed her eyes. "You seem remarkably comfortable for someone in your position." Marcus smiled slightly. "Perhaps because you misunderstand my position." The judge rolled her eyes. The prosecutor stood. "Your Honor, we'd like to proceed immediately." Judge Collins nodded. "Granted." The defense attorney attempted to object. Denied. A request for additional evidence. Denied. A request to call another witness. Denied. Everything happened exactly as the judge wanted. Within minutes, she appeared ready to rule. Then Marcus slowly stood. "Before you continue, I'd like to introduce myself properly." The judge smirked. "I already know who you are." Marcus shook his head. "No, I don't believe you do." The room became silent. The judge leaned back. "Fine. Entertain us." Marcus calmly reached into his briefcase. The bailiff watched closely. Instead of documents, Marcus removed an official appointment letter, then another folder, then a leather identification case. He placed everything on the table. The prosecutor frowned. Judge Collins looked annoyed. "What is this supposed to be?" Marcus opened the identification wallet. The courtroom froze. Several people stood from their seats. The judge's expression changed instantly. Marcus looked directly at her. "My name is Marcus Reed." He paused. "The newly appointed chief prosecutor for this district." Complete silence. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. The prosecutor looked like he'd seen a ghost. Judge Collins blinked repeatedly. "That's impossible." Marcus calmly slid the appointment letter across the table. "Signed. Official. Verified. Effective immediately." The judge grabbed the document. Her hands trembled slightly. The courtroom erupted into whispers. Reporters rushed toward the aisle. Cameras flashed. Judge Collins stared at the paperwork. "This has to be some mistake." Marcus shook his head. "It isn't." Then he opened the second folder. Inside were dozens of reports. Complaints. Investigations. Ethics reviews. Records involving judicial misconduct. The judge's face turned pale. Marcus continued. "One of my first responsibilities as chief prosecutor was reviewing allegations involving abuse of authority within the court system." The room became silent again. The judge looked terrified. Marcus removed another file, then another. Each one contained evidence. Witness statements. Internal communications. Official complaints. Many connected directly to Judge Collins. The prosecutor slowly sat down. Nobody knew what to say. Marcus looked around the courtroom. "You dismissed me before hearing a single fact." The judge remained silent. "You denied evidence before reviewing it." Still nothing. "You made assumptions before learning who stood before you." Judge Collins lowered her eyes. For the first time all day, she looked uncertain. Marcus calmly closed the folders. Then he spoke one final time. "You believed I was just another defendant." The judge swallowed hard. Marcus nodded. "The truth is, I'm the person now responsible for reviewing the conduct of this office and the courts that work with it." The courtroom exploded with whispers. Judge Collins sat motionless. Only minutes earlier she had believed she controlled everything. Now she realized the man she had dismissed without a second thought was one of the most powerful legal officials in the district. And suddenly, she was the one being evaluated.